How's it going, everybody? Rye here today, and we are back with your Boston Red Sox here halfway through season number 5 at the 4th of July. Happy 4th of July. That is coming tomorrow as of uploading this video. And we are looking pretty good. And guys, I got an idea for the channel. I think because we've been in the AL with the Boston Red Sox, we've been having fun with it. But I think for this week at some point, I believe I'm going to upload a brand new franchise mode. We're going to start a new one. We're going to sunset the Boston Red Sox. You know, we're obviously going to keep going here. We're in year 5. We win the World Series. That might be a good point to end. But I had an idea of whoever is in last in the National League as of the 4th of July, I will take over that team with their live roster and jump in and see if I can save them, you know, from being at the bottom, right? Because if I did the worst team in the league, I'd probably be doing the A's again, maybe the Royals, but we're going to jump to the NL. I haven't checked the standings in a little bit, so that should be fun. But those of you that are watching this and know the MLB standings like the back of your hand, you guys know who the next franchise mode is going to be with. But that doesn't mean I'm going to just stop caring about these Boston Red Sox here, my Boston Red Sox, because we are killing it this season. But the Yankees, 9 games behind. They've been hotter than we have. We're 5-5 in our last 10, which not what you want to see, but we had a pretty good draft. In all honesty, I think we're doing just fine. You know, we'll see how things go. But 59 wins, 4 games above the Astros. As far as games that we can jump in for, maybe the Baltimore. No, Baltimore's at the bottom of the division. Things are going to shake out. I don't know if I really want to jump in for any of these games here in July. In August, it really doesn't look like there's a lot of games either. We'll check it out, right? But here in September, there's the series against the Yankees, who, if they're still killing it, I mean, towards the end of the season too, that could be a fun 4-game series to jump in for, and we can take a look at the standings there. Houston, Cleveland is another team that's near the top. I don't think they're going to be really pushing us for, you know, the 1 seed. Yeah, they're 13 games back, but we'll see, right? So it's time to jump into this one, guys. Sign some of our draft picks, check out the All-Star voting, and see who is an All-Star. So we'll get through. We lost that one to the White Sox. We're going to skip the home run derby. I don't really want to play the home run derby. The All-Star game, here we go. All right, so view organizations games, play the game. Sure, that's fine. Play full game just as the AL All-Stars. Here we go. Where is it? Is it just in Seattle every year from here on out? Cool. All right, who do we have here? Who is on the roster from us? Josh Hader. Really seems to be the only pitcher that made it for us. Yeah. Josh Hader's the only pitcher, so we'll start Gilbert. Rafael Devers made it. You guys know, oh my God, he's growing even still. He's batting .320 this season with a 983 OPS. Oh my God. How many home runs? He's got 23 home runs at the 4th of July, 72 RBI. He's on another level this season, guys. Shohei did make it. He made the bench. Anybody else? Pete Alonso now playing for the Houston Astros. I hate that. I really hate seeing that. Brian Reynolds made it. Love to see that. And I think that's it for us. So it's Reynolds, Shohei, and Devers. So honestly, pretty happy with that to see our stars being all-stars. But let's go ahead and see if we can get some of our guys signed and hopefully beat the Mets and get back on track here. We are going to sign Willie Gill, our first round pick, the starting pitcher, 79 to 97 potential, 57 to 75. You know, we didn't scout him entirely, but at that range, I didn't feel like we needed to. So I just gave him a little bit more. We're still going to have $3.5 million left in our bonus allotment. And Brad Morales, our second round pick, I think I could snag him. I don't think we have people taking too much, and he is going to decline it. So that's a little bit disappointing, but we want to get some of these guys with low interest. Actually, let's see if we can sign Esteban Santana first. Offer him a contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. He should take this, and we'll have 2.8 remaining. There we go. Esteban Santana is going to decide to sign with us. That is great. He's got 80 to 98 potential. That could be amazing. And then we'll do the same thing with Tom Carlson here. Just kind of give him a lot of money. It's not really going to make that big of a dent, and we have plenty left for the guys remaining. He's going to... What? He's okay. All right, Tom. All right. Remove draft pick. You just okay. But Rick Davenport and Elmer Santana, we're gonna move those guys up so we can scout them or get their interest up a little bit higher. Elmer Santana, I want to make you 1 because he's the furthest away. So there we go. We did get 1. I can't believe we got rejected by the other guys. There we go. We finally got Tom Carlson to decide to sign with us. 80% scouting. He's got 73 to 92. His bonus demand was 253. We gave him like 400 some thousand. We still have 2.24. Adding these guys up, that's 600. We'll be generous. Call it 700,000. we should be fine. We're going to have, I think, like 300,000 to play with, so I'm not too concerned about giving some of these guys a little bit extra over what they're asking. There we go. Brad Morales has decided to sign with us. That 80 to 95 potential there. We ranked him as 6th best in the class. That is great to see. A starting pitcher, the lefty. I believe he was our 2nd round pick, Brad Morales. So I'm just happy to have him signed. Really, all that's left is Elmer Santana and Rick Davenport, our 4th and 5th round picks respectively. And with 900,000 remaining, all I need to do is just crack through that interest and get them and to talk to me. And I'm pretty sure I can sign these guys. Rick Davenport, maybe I don't need to worry about him as much. Elmer Santana looks like he's going to have the better potential right now. You know, they're both 25% scouted. Neither of these guys look like I'm going to sweat too much if I don't end up getting them. But you know, I want to bring in everybody that we drafted. That would be a bad look if I didn't. Elmer Santana is going to sign with us. We don't have him fully scouted. It's 65 to 89 now, and the overall's pretty low. So this is probably a guy that we're never going to see. I'm hoping he's got closer to 89 than he does 65. A B potential for Elmer Santana would be very, very nice to see. And then finally is Rick Davenport. We have 500,000. We can give him all the money to come and join us, submit the offer. He's going to... Rick! Who do you think you are? You're trash, buddy. You don't even okay. All right. You know, I'm not going to trash on our just drafted 4th round pick, but he's got a little bit of an ego. So I gave Rick every cent that we had left. I don't know why. He doesn't deserve it. He's never going to make the majors. He's barely going to make AA, let alone AAA. He's pretty awful. This is a swing and a miss, but we signed everybody. There's no one left. There's no one left to sign. So I guess I can say I still have not lost a prospect yet. So we'll jump ahead to the end of the month so we can see what these guys' actual overalls are and how we're doing. And spoiler alert, it's pretty good. All right, guys, here we are, August 2nd, and we are 77 and 35. Yeah, the Astros, who were the team that's really been giving us the most trouble as far as the 1 seed in the AL, we are 9 wins ahead of them. Nobody in the NL is even close, right? I mean, the best team in the NL is the Mets at 65 wins. We have 77. Nobody's, oh my God. The closest is the Astros, I think, right? Let me double check that. Yeah, 68. No other team is even close to 70. Oh my God. And the Astros are very good, don't get me wrong. But August was a great month. It started off, you know, you guys saw we got swept by the White Sox, which was not good. Took this break to reset, and then we came out swinging. 13-2 over the Mets, and then a 3-1 and a 3-2 win. And then after dropping the first game to San Diego, we won the next 2. We split the series with Toronto, which was a little bit disappointing, but hey, it happens. Eric Swanson's getting another win. Shohei Ohtani took the L in a 1-0 loss. I can't really blame him there. Eric Swanson got another win there, and Marshall Ashe took the L there. We then followed that up by beating the Nationals 2-1 in the series. They're not that great. They're 7 games under 500. Then we took off. Then at the end of the month, we took this Thursday off again. We just need to go out drinking on Thursdays because the weekend we just rake. 5-0, 5-1, 9-4. We follow that up with sweeping the... we didn't sweep them. But, I mean, I'll take 6 straight wins against the 6 straight wins against the division before we drop 1. And then against Philly, we won, we swept them. There we go. So now is the moment you guys have been waiting for, is to view our draft picks. Also contract extensions. Alex Verdugo is growing up to an 83. I guess it depends on what he wants, but you know, we'll talk about that in a second. View the draft picks. Here we go. Willie Gill actually has an 89 potential. He is 67 though, so that's not too bad. The switch hitting starting pitcher. Absolutely love that. Brad Morales here. Our 2nd round pick was very good. Esteban Santana, seeming to be the best player that we took as far as potential, but the fact that these guys are in the 60s already, I will absolutely take Willie Gill and Brad Morales, these 2 starting pitchers, 1 lefty, 1 righty, upper 80s in potential, and already in the mid to upper 60s. That's going to bode well for them. We should see them sooner rather than later. Esteban Santana is probably one of those guys that's going to take a while, but he's worth the wait. He's only 18. Rick Davenport here, super fast. And yeah, he's got a really good agent. That's all I got to say. Elmer Santana, the other guy that was kicking up a fuss, not very good either. So really, it was our first 3 picks, but that's kind of what I expected. More starting pitching for the pipeline. That's what we love to see. Wrong trigger. There we go. Let's go to the outfielders now to talk about Alex Verdugo. Dominique Paniagua is pretty much ready. I'd love to bring Verdugo back, but I want, you know what? Pete Crow Armstrong is cold. But he's up to an 81, and Brian Reynolds is still doing well. You know what? I think I will bring Alex Verdugo back, but I think next season, Dominique Paniagua is our starting left fielder. Pete Crow Armstrong going to continue to start in center field. And maybe we call up Dante Gutierrez next year too. And then we can let Trace Thompson walk and Brian Reynolds can stay around for his contract, right? So I think that's the move. I think I do bring back Alex Verdugo. I don't think I want to bring back Houck. I mean, I'd give Doogie 4 years, 7.5 a year. I feel like that's fine. He's not going to be an everyday player, but oh well. I think he's a great guy to have off the bench. That contact and vision are great. He's a fine fielder. He's a runs created machine. We saw that. So like even his stats, you know, we're not too worried about that. But 4 years, I feel like he'd be 34. He's a great depth option, and I'm fine with giving him that contract. Beautiful. How he's growing. He's having an awful season, guys. 6.18 ERA. His WAR is negative. His FIP is over 5.8. His ERC is over 6.5. It's just, I think it's just time to let Tanner Houck walk. He's been great for us, but pretty much every season he's gotten a little bit worse, right? He started great, had an amazing season here. I don't know what happened there, but then, you know, these last 3 seasons, it's just kind of, I don't know. He's really dipped off. He's throwing more strikeouts, but he's allowing so many home runs. He's growing. Listen, I think he's great. I think it's probably just time to move on and trust some of the young guys. Trace Thompson, speaking of young guys, and then same thing with Jonathan Loaizaga. I don't think he's a guy that deserves a contract extension just yet. I don't know if I really want to jump into any of these games, guys. I want to get this episode done so we can jump into the playoffs. Maybe we'll play this last game of the season against the Yankees, depending on what storylines exist. Jumping in, guys, after the month of August is done, we are now 95 and 43. We've got a whole month to get 5 wins, to get us to 100 wins for a second consecutive season. We have 95 wins. The next best has 85, and the best in the NL is tied at 80. So, yeah, we're kind of taking off, and I feel like at this point I'd be playing a game just to play a game. I just really want to get to the postseason, guys. Yeah, we're tied with the A's though. The A's surprisingly have our number, and oh wait, hold on. Yeah, I gotta call people up. This is the important part, right? I get to pick 2 players to call up. Who do I want to call up? Just based on overall. Ted Towers, he's an 81. Aaron Luke is an 80 though, and he's built more like a reliever. I think I'm going to call up Aaron Luke and let Ted Towers continue to pitch down in the minors, because Aaron Luke, he's doing really, really well, and it's one of those, like, he's got the, you know, he's just built like a reliever, obviously because he is. So I think I'm going to call him up, because I like to call up one guy for the bullpen, promote him to the majors. And then Dante Gutierrez, he's looking really, really good. To call up another outfielder could be good. Barrett Lopez, another guy that's doing really, really well. Some relief. We got a lot of pitchers in the system, guys. Holy smokes. But what I think I will do, yeah, I'm going to call up Dante Gutierrez to the major leagues. He's got great speed, a pretty solid fielder, and the bat's all right. So there we go. So those are our call-ups. Can we beat Oakland? Yes, we can. We actually do not lose the series to Oakland. So let's go ahead, simulate through the month together, guys, and see how we do. We got the series against the Yankees, who are 79 and 61. I think they're in a wild card spot. I could be mistaken. In the wild card, yeah, they are the wild card. We could, I mean, if we absolutely dominate them this month and they just kind of implode, we could knock them out of the playoffs for the Orioles. I wouldn't mind that, but I don't think we really realistically can knock the Yankees out of the playoffs here. Although we do win 2-1 in that series against the Cubs, who are about a 500 team. We sweep them. Toronto, who are about a 500 team. We do not sweep them, but we go 3-1. The Angels, who are 10 games under 500, we go 2-1. And then Detroit, who's about a 500 team, they are going to, I think, beat us. Yeah, they beat us 3-1 in the series. The minor league playoffs are about to begin. We got this 2-game series against Atlanta. We split the series. We win 9-0 with Shohei getting the win. Josh Hader takes the L. We blows the save. But we have 108 wins. We just need to win 2. The Yankees have 90 wins. They're probably in the wild card. They've clinched the wild card. So really, there's nothing interesting to talk about here. We are 10 games above the Astros. We've clinched the best record in the league. We've clinched the best record in the majors. this season has been amazing, guys. This is a back-to-back season where we just improved every season. Let's actually just wrap it up here. Let's get through this Yankees series where we win 3-1 and the season has come to an end. The Yankees finished 90-1. And there we go. We are the 1 seed. We will take on either New York or Texas in the ALDS. It's just crazy, guys. We were I think 95 wins heading into this month. We got another 16 wins in this month. It's kind of crazy at this point. But taking a look at league leaders and awards, we should have plenty of these. Dylan Cease led the league in strikeouts. Steve Melendez led the league in wins, and Josh Hader led the league in saves. As far as batting leaders, Shohei Ohtani led the league in runs, 126 runs. Devers batted .313. Hits. We had Bo Bichette with 188, Devers with 187, Verdugo with one. This is what I'm saying, guys. Like, he's an 84. Oh no, but he's insane. The fact that I traded him away, I'm so glad I brought him back. I'm so happy to bring this guy back. He bats in the upper 200s, OPS right around the 800s. The WAR is the best of his career. He is just on fire this year. 102 runs created as well. This guy is a machine. Shohei with 173 hits. At bats, I'm not too worried about. Doubles, Bo Bichette and Brian Reynolds. Brian Reynolds, nice to see him up there. As far as triples, Brian Reynolds with 7. I love to see that. Let's talk about home runs. Shohei with 40. Reynolds with 38. Devers with 34. Okay. RBIs, Reynolds and Shohei. Shohei, like I said, led in runs. We will just kind of, I'm not going to go by league leaders. We'll just take a look at the statistics of the team. But of the awards, Josh Hader wins the Delivery Man of the Year award, and Steve Melendez wins the Cy Young for the American League. Brian Reynolds almost won the MVP with his 299, 38 home runs, and 123 RBIs. The best season he's had of the simulation by far. 24 points batting average, higher than he's used to hitting. The most RBIs of his career. Yep. Most home runs. He's been pretty much raking ever since we brought him in, but he had 7 triples. I don't know what he did, but all of a sudden that 69 speed is the magic number. Nice. He had 7 stolen bases, so he wasn't using that. We got on first, and he was not really concerned about stealing. He was more so concerned about turning the triple. 5.0 WAR for him this season, and 131 runs created. That is wild, man. But Nathaniel Lowe is going to be, oh my God, he's a 98 overall, the 95 contact, 99 against lefties, 97 power against lefties, the clutch, the discipline. He had a monster year. 43 home runs, 129 RBIs, and 346 batting average. I don't think it's undeserved at all. Absolutely, he is the MVP. The Cy Young was between 2 Red Sox. It was either Steve Melendez or Dylan Cease. Melendez got those 3 more wins than Cease did, plus half a run per game better in the ERA. Didn't have as many strikeouts, but Steve Melendez, look at that, 25 years old, winning the Cy Young for us. And we've got him on another year at $1.6 million next year, guys. He is going to be a phenomenal player to have in the rotation. And Cease, another year at $19 million. And I will pay $19 million if he's going to give me Cy Young candidate level performance a year over year. The batting title obviously goes to Nathaniel Lowe, 346, good, with plus 43 home runs and almost 130 RBIs. The reliever of the year, though, is Josh Hader. 52 saves, 83 strikeouts. The ERA is a little higher than I love to see at 277, but I'll take it. 268 ERC. That is very, very good. 12 strikeouts per 9 as well. I love to see that. The rookie of the year goes to Aaron Sabato, who's now playing for the AAA Aviators. How did he play? He played 34 at bats, 242, but 22 home runs, 84 RBIs, 63 walks too. Not too shabby. I don't know. Yeah, I'd say the home runs probably gave it to him. The Hank Aaron Award, yep, all-time home run record. Yeah, probably with the RBIs. I would say Nathaniel Lowe over Juan Soto. I mean, the average, too. It's crazy. The Gold Glove for the pitcher. Not us. No Gold Glove appearances for us, it looks like. I said I don't want defense, and that's fair. The Silver Slugger, DH, was almost Shohei, He had a great year. Honestly, he really did. And for somebody that I was ready to get rid of, I think this was the year that we needed to see out of him to show that he's been great. He's going to still be great, although he is maybe regressing enough to the point where 35 million for the next lot of years. Not sure if I want to continue to do that, but his 5.9 WAR is a bounce back. It's good to see him bounce back after a tougher year. Runs created still the same. We'll take a look at the stats here in a second. Silver Slugger for the catcher. Jonathan India was second baseman, runner-up in Silver Slugger. 307 with 30 home runs. Oh my god, we are so freaking stacked. Rafael Devers wins the Silver Slugger for third baseman, beating out Jose Ramirez, who was going for his third straight, maybe his fourth straight, I don't know. But 109 RBIs, 34 home runs, absolutely deserved. Bo Bichette almost was there for the Silver Slugger, but it was Gunnar Henderson here. Kid's amazing. 95 at 25, lefty from the middle infield. Oh my god, plus 12 in his contact against lefties. He is going to be a problem in the division very, very soon. Joey Meneses here as well. He's really, really good. He is regressing, though, at 34. Brian Reynolds wins the Silver Slugger for the outfield. 38 home runs, average just slightly under 300 RBIs, over 120. That is crazy. And there we go. So no postseason awards, but let's take a look at the statistics for everybody on the roster. Starting with batting average, Marcelo Mayer hit 480 in his 25 at-bats. Dominique Paniagua hit 455 in his 11 at-bats. And then Rafael Devers with 313. India with 307. I signed this guy to be depth, to be a backup, to be a guy that could spell Devers or you know, maybe if something happened at short and Marcelo Mayer wasn't ready. He turned in to be just an absolute stud of a signing. Became an everyday player for us. OPS 974, 30 home runs, 96 RBIs. We saw the WAR of 5.5 and 112 runs created. So thankfully, I let Tim Koo, our manager, do what he wanted to do, and he knew how to use Jonathan India. And it's an embarrassment of riches. Gavin Lux now, who's an 88, was right behind him. He only had 149 at-bats, but he batted 302. He had added another 10 home runs and almost 30 RBIs. That is wild. Brian Reynolds, like I said, almost 300. So we almost had 4 players over 300 with a decent amount of at-bats each. But Reynolds had a great season. Verdugo, we know he's just rock solid. He's steady, man. Shohei, 281. We saw a little bit of a bounce back. The average isn't there like it was last year, but the power is back. And that's what we wanted to see. That's what we want him for. Strikeouts, climbing. Don't like to see that. Mac Jackson with his first full season at first base, 278 average, 20 home runs, 77 RBIs. Bo Bichette here, 277, 94 RBIs, almost 30 home runs. Tristan Casas in his first full season up, now an 82 overall. He is flying now, and he's hitting his prime. He might be better than Mac Jackson very, very quickly here. Mac Jackson is 2 years older, and Tristan Casas is growing, dude. 253, 8 home runs, 20 RBIs, only 158 at-bats. Henry Davis, 245, Diego Cartaya, and then Pete Crow Armstrong. Pete Crow Armstrong, really, really disappointing season from him, but he is growing pretty well for the contact. His batting is not why he's here. It's really his fielding. As far as WAR, he was positive. I'd like to see a little bit more than 0.2 replacement level from my center fielder who's on a $4 million a year contract. I'd like to see a little bit better than that, but it is what it is. India led the team in WAR, followed by Reynolds, Devers, Shohei, Davis, Verdugo. Those are the guys over 3. That's wild. And as far as runs created, 131. Oh my God, 125, 112, 106, 103. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 of our 9 hitters created over 100 runs. Wow. And we had Mac Jackson at 74, not even bad. Our catcher's hitting 66, and I think it was a great idea to acquire Henry Davis and just to give him the full-time starting gig. He's living up to that contract, personally. I have no worries about him, especially with his, what was his WAR? 3.5? Absolutely. No doubt in my mind. And then you can see these guys down here didn't get enough at-bats, but take a look at the pitchers. The best ERA was Ted Towers, who should not be up here. Ted, I didn't call him up. I don't know why he's here, but hi. Why are you here, Ted? Who told you could come here? Anyway, Jorge Alcala and Giancarlo Ramirez had a great season, overshadowed by Steve Melendez because by winning the Cy Young. I mean, we're just raking in the awards here, guys. Jonathan Loizaga, Yency Almonte, Josh Hader, Swanson. Okay. And then Hauk Ash. Hauk did bounce back, so I called him out. He brought his ERA way down. Still not sure, but about bringing him back. But quality starts, Steve Melendez with 23, Shohei with 22, 20 for C, 17 for Ash and Whitlock. So bringing Whitlock back at 17 million, he did not disappoint. He had a fantastic year the year before. He earned the contract. Didn't quite touch those lofty numbers again, but he was by no way means a detriment to the team. Take a look at the WAR. Cease had the most WAR. Shohei, Melendez. It's funny that Melendez won the Cy Young and didn't even have the most wins above replacement. Garrett Whitlock, Marshall Ash, Giancarlo Ramirez, all these guys above 2. Those are our starting pitchers. Except for Giancarlo Ramirez, who came out of the bullpen, I believe. Anyway, really, really good season from everybody. ERC, the only guy with a bad ERC, in my opinion, was Tanner Houck. Marshall Ash at 3.76 was the next worst. And like I said, guys, if you're under 4, you're good. If you're under 3.5, you're great. And if you're under 3, you're elite. And we have a lot of elite pitchers here right now, guys. Houck is the only guy that I'm a little bit worried about. But man, oh man, what a season that was. Take a look at the standings across the rest of the league. The Orioles, they really faded down the stretch. The Yankees took the wild card. The White Sox, and they upset the Guardians. So I know I was complaining right at the start of the episode about losing to the White Sox, but I don't see a problem anymore because they're not that bad. The Astros were the other team in the AL. They hit 100 wins barely. They didn't hit 111 like we did. But the Astros with 101, the Rangers with 87. So there's your playoff contenders from the American League. In the NL, excuse me, it's the Mets, Phillies, and Braves coming out of the NL East. The Pirates winning the NL Central, and then the Giants and Padres. So not very good, but very exciting. Let's just put it that way. It was very tight down the stretch. The Dodgers missing by 1 game, missing on a tiebreaker, it seems. I don't know what that tiebreaker was, but they lost 4 in a row. The Padres lost 3 in a row. So while I say it's exciting, it's who sucks less down the stretch. And it was the Padres that sucked less. So they somehow made it in. Oh my God, geez, guys, it's just nobody wanted to make the playoffs in the NL. Somebody's gotta want it. Lose 3, lose 4, lose 2, and then the Brewers lost their last game of the season. It wouldn't have mattered, but the Cardinals, if they just would have won 1, they might have made it. They might have made it. I don't know what the tiebreaker is, but they could have done it, but they didn't. But anyway, we will have to wait for the next one to see who we're playing. It's either Yankees, Red Sox in the ALDS, or we play the Rangers. I'm very excited for that one, guys. But that's all the time I have for this one. Make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see some more, and I will see you guys in the next one. This a free for all, but what we fall. This a free for all, but what we fall.